Welcome to another deep dive. You know, if you're someone who loves efficient, focused learning, you are in exactly the right place today. We're unpacking a truly fascinating explainer based on the book The Self-Sufficient Backyard by Ron and Johanna. And look, this isn't just about planting a few tomatoes. No, it's a comprehensive, highly structured blueprint for modern, low-maintenance, off-grid living. We're going to break down exactly how you can transform a typical, utility-dependent house into a completely independent micro-homestead. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this number right here, 1,020. According to our authors, who, by the way, have lived entirely off the grid for 4 decades, 1,020 square feet is the exact amount of land you need per person to be entirely self-sufficient in food. Think about that for a second. That is an incredibly small footprint. It completely shatters the illusion that you need some massive, sprawling farm to feed yourself and take control of your own supply chain. It's actually totally doable. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore the 5 core systems of this blueprint: the quarter-acre dream, off-grid power and water, sustainable food and medicine, nature's pest control, and finally, old-school self-reliance. Let's jump right in. Starting with Section 1, the quarter-acre dream. The overarching goal here is simple but powerful: achieving total independence from the grid on just a quarter acre of land. Just listen to this. In all that time, an electric wire has never been connected to our house. We haven't gotten or paid an electricity bill in over 40 years. That is an absolutely astonishing 40-year streak. But what makes their approach so unique is that they pulled this off without sacrificing modern comforts. They designed this plan specifically so a family of 4 can be totally self-sufficient and, hey, even have extra goods left over to sell for profit. They've got internet, satellite TV, modern plumbing, the whole shebang. They're basically living the old ways of their grandparents, but doing it with 21st century conveniences on a tiny patch of land. That brings us to Section 2, off-grid power and water. Because let's face it, water and electricity are the absolute lifeblood of any self-sufficient homestead. Without them, you aren't truly independent. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference between living on the grid versus off it. So on the grid-reliant side, you're perpetually paying for utility tap water, and you're vulnerable to outages, deliberate grid attacks, and constant price hikes. On the hybrid system side, the authors propose using inexpensive rainwater collection, cheap solar or wind storage, and the flexibility to actually sell your excess power back for a profit. It flips the script entirely. You end up making money off the utility company instead of the other way around. Securing your water is all about multiple layers of redundancy. The program advises filtering and storing every single gallon you need, using things like inexpensive rainwater collection tanks, dug or drilled wells, lake pumping systems, or even simple shallow and deep well hand pumps. By setting up these systems, the authors ensured they never had to pay for irrigation or tap water again. I mean, every single drop is theirs. And here is one of the most clever money-saving tricks from the source material. They detail this ingenious system that provides pressurized hot water simply by capturing the ambient heat generated whenever they're cooking or heating the main house. Because all these systems are interconnected, they don't pay a single extra cent to get hot water. The heat you are already generating basically does double duty. It's brilliant. Moving on to Section 3, sustainable food and medicine. This is all about generating high-yield nutrition and healing remedies without the back-breaking labor that's usually associated with farming. Let's look at 3 incredibly efficient, low-effort food sources. First up, microgreens. You grow them indoors, they take just 2 weeks to harvest, and they offer a massive yield per square foot, which makes them perfect for generating some extra income. Second, chickens. They're a highly cost-effective organic protein source. And the authors actually share a great pro tip here: withhold food the night before butchering to clean out their digestive systems and save on feed. Third, the perpetual mini tower. This thing turns the daily kitchen scraps you would normally just throw away into free, nutritious, living soil for your plants. It's a completely closed-loop fertilizer system. Speaking of closed loops, check out this aquaponics cycle. Step 1, the water feeds the plants. Step 2, the plants filter the water for the fish. Step 3, the fish droppings feed good bacteria. And Step 4, that bacteria creates nitrates that act as a superfood for the plants. This entire system can fit right in your basement or a small greenhouse, and it provides you with both juicy vegetables and fresh fish simultaneously, with astonishing growth rates. Let's see how this builds when we apply it to year-round growing with a geothermal greenhouse loop. You see, 10 feet below ground, the Earth's temperature is a highly stable 55 degrees, regardless of whether you're in Texas or Maine. By circulating air through underground pipes, the Earth warms the air naturally, then a small fan blows it into the greenhouse, and vents can even transfer that warm air right into the main house. Using this exact setup, the authors were able to grow fresh lettuce in northern Saskatchewan even when there were 2 feet of snow on the ground. No way, right? But it actually works.
Now, beyond food, there's health. The authors rely on just 7 specific medicinal plants to create tinctures and natural remedies right in their backyard, completely cutting out the need to buy supplements or basic natural medicines.
To put that into perspective, when they started their homestead in northern Saskatchewan, the closest pharmacy was 100 miles away, and there were literally no roads to get there. So they had to place their lives in the hands of these 7 plants. This wasn't just some fun hobby. Mastering these plants was a matter of absolute survival, and they've proven highly effective over 40 years of use. Section 4. Nature's Pest Control. How do you protect your organic food without using any chemical pesticides? Let's take a look. 4,000! A single bat can eat an astonishing 4,000 insects in just one night. By simply putting up a bat shelter, you're employing a specialized nocturnal exterminator that works entirely for free. And during the day, bluebirds take the day shift. A single bluebird eats around 1,000 bugs daily, handling cabbage worms, whiteflies, aphids, earwigs, grasshoppers, cucumber beetles, and even mosquitoes. By building a few swallow or bluebird houses right alongside your bat shelter, you have just created an automated 24-hour biological insect control system. It's an incredible 1-2 punch against pests, and honestly, it makes sitting in your backyard a whole lot more comfortable. Finally, Section 5. Old School Self-Reliance. This is where historical wisdom meets practical DIY projects. The authors incorporate these specific 1900s-era DIY projects to maintain true independence. We're talking about things like making your own charcoal for water purification, building smokehouses, constructing small barrel or underhouse root cellars, and setting up solar water heaters. Because the long winters in Saskatchewan meant no grocery trips, preserving everything they produced, meat, eggs, root vegetables, without relying on an electric freezer was absolutely essential. These old-school skills literally preserve food year-round. Now you might be wondering, well, this is great, but I don't own any land. Well, look at this surprising fact from the book's bonus materials. Between 1 to 5 acres of free land is actually still available for homesteaders right now in 21st century America. Just like the pioneer days, there are still places that will deed you land simply for settling and developing it. Acquiring the space for your micro-homestead might actually be a lot easier than you think. So the crucial point is captured beautifully in this quote from the authors. Becoming a bit more self-sufficient should be done in stages. It doesn't matter if you dedicate 1 hour a week or 1 hour a day. The final result is the same. This is absolutely crucial, guys. This transition is meant to be a calming break from the daily rat race. It's meant to relieve your stress, not become a demanding, backbreaking new full-time job. You just take it one step at a time. And I'll leave you with this provocative thought to chew on. If you could reclaim your independence, just 1 hour a week, what would your backyard look like a year from now? Or 2 years from now? By applying even a fraction of these highly structured systems, from rainwater tanks to microgreens to automated biological pest control, you can dramatically change your reliance on the grid. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you on the next deep dive.